Hey, crotch rot. I'm gonna slurp my lifer's juice out of my own cup.
Yeah, I guess I should have gotten shots beforehand.
Anything else, General?
No, that's fine.
What are all those medals?
I'll never tell. At least not while the sun's shining.
There you go. We're probably going to eventually do that movie on here. It's one of those movies that I have a love-hate relationship with, you know, because it's got some great, memorable Clint Eastwood lines, but it's stupid as fuck in
Whoa.
so many other ways.
Great, so I'm going to love it then.
Well, it's
Joe.
the stuff that. No, Joe. Yeah, Joe's gone. What the hell? But anyway, no, it's just, first of all, Heartbreak Ridge was 2nd Infantry Division, Army. No Marines. There were no Marines there. The primary active shooters that were involved with Grenada were Army, 2nd Infantry Division. The Marine Corps was down there, so was a SEAL team. But the primary stuff that they show in the film, that was Army.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened? Why did that happen in the movie? Because the Army says, we want nothing to do with your script. We want nothing to do with this movie. So he went to the Marine Corps. Says, here's this movie. And Marine Corps, you know, they're eating crayons at the time, you know, and they're like, oh, hell yeah, we want a part of this. And then as the movie's being made and they started catching up on, oh, now we're starting to see why the Army had a problem with this movie. And then they bailed. The Marine Corps says, we're done. We're not going to help you anymore. So it's just got all sorts of shit wrong with it militarily. But there was something that was said by Tom and Andre, and I'm not sure who was talking to me. I think it was Razor Fist said something to me about, and I never caught this before, that movie is really kind of an homage from Clint Eastwood to Stallone and Arnold. And maybe even Chuck Norris is in there. I don't know. But there are characters in there that are meant to look like exaggerated versions of characters that were played by Stallone and Arnold, like the Swede.
Yeah, the Swedes, obviously Arnold. Yeah, without.
And I'm not going to say the guy's name because he says the name wrong, which is politically incorrect. And I'm sure you two wouldn't like it if I said the guy's name. You know who I'm saying. It starts with an F. And he's supposed to be Stallone. So it's making me want to go back just to look at these things. I'd never thought about that before.
Look at it through a totally different lens, right?
Yeah, different lens. You know, even though it's still going to suck for me in some ways. Like, you come back from a battle and you lose a guy, last thing you're going to be doing is joking around, smiling.
Yeah.
And, of course, they come back and they all forgot about the guy that died in the battle to save these college students. I'm like, what the?
That just sounds wrong.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I still enjoy the film. Gunny Hightower is one of my favorite characters in military movie history. Highway, yeah, that's right. Gunny Highway. He said, why don't you lay there and bleed a while before you taste some real pain? What a great line. What's another one? That is AK-47, the preferred weapon of your enemy. It makes a very distinct sound.
Fired at you.
Know it well. After he fires it at him.
Yeah.
Oh, good morning. Happy Monday. D. Bud Martin's got the right idea. Joseph Dredd is here. Chris, I talked to Christian DeLorme before I went to sleep last night. Got a hangover, do you, Christian?
Hey, he went and saw his son at his service post.
Yeah, I know. He told me.
Yeah.
He and I talked last night, and he was just in a great mood. Christian was in a great mood.
Mhm.
And of course, we got Jim Watari. Maybe he's a Republican. I don't know what we're talking about here. Did I miss something?
that's a line from the movie.
Oh, yeah, that was actually a line that bugged me because he should have said capitalist, not Republican. Republican didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, eventually it did.
A capitalist makes more sense.
Yeah.
I don't hear any threats on Captain Maitland's life or going down to headquarters and shooting the general. Or while talk about going down to the field hospital and rapping. Oh my God. Let's see. Who else is here? Dragon Ruse is here. Andy Morrow is here. Good morning. Kingsport Cal is here. Good morning. Drink some water for Christ's sake.
Thunderduck. I love that name.
Is Joe wearing a kimono? Of course he is.
I'm wearing my robe.
It's a bathrobe. Don't sex it up a little bit, for God's sakes, Joe. Dragon Ruse.
You don't want to see my wrinkled ass Irish.
Thunderduck. Yes, I thought I heard someone say Thunderduck. Thunderduck is here.
It's a great name. I love it.
Stoltzmanat. Yes. I did add that so I can actually show it here. Let me show it real quick. Go into my virtual background. I will select it.
Kingsport Cal, I wear it on purpose, man. The first time I wore it, friggin' Gerry was like, "That's perfect."
There it is. That's my
Yes, I love it. It's awesome.
Like, ooh, hello. Oh my.
Yeah, that is very oh my.
Should have a different flag this month.
No. That flag is just ridiculous.
Man, I turned on my.
I tell them all the time, it doesn't matter what your fucking thing is. If you're an American, you have one flag.
Yeah.
Yes. Did you see
That
what
flag
Chrissy Mayer
represents
put
everyone.
up that bit by Robin Williams? Did you see what Chrissy
Yeah, I
Mayer
shared
put up?
that.
That's pretty damn awesome. But yeah, we got one flag. It represents everybody, even you alphabet people. It represents you too.
And you know what? If you want to have that around your house, that's fine. But people, stop fucking posting that flag as if it really actually represents something. It doesn't. And you cannot. And this is the ironic thing of all this. And I hate getting political, sociopolitically, because I'm sociopolitically incorrect.
Aren't we all?
I support every person's rights. But tell me where your rights aren't existing for you to make an argument with me. And you can't. You have every fucking right every other American has.
Yeah.
To live your fucking life and seek out happiness and to make it an earnings, a living. You know, it's just ridiculous the way they keep wanting to do this thing. Rights. No, what you want is special rights. And nobody fucking gets that. Those of us who serve this country have something to say about it. We fought for everybody to have equal rights, the equal right to get out there to do what they need to do. And there's no special flags in this country. States can have their flags, but the American flag goes above that, not below it. So, fuck them. People that do that shit piss me off. It's a military show, and what's really funny is I've told people, I have a lot of Christian friends who will go, "You'll never find a atheist in a foxhole." And I went, "That's not true. That's not true." A lot of the guys I served with who have fought in combat, atheist, agnostic. What you won't find in an infantry unit is a Democrat. It's very rare, and I don't know why that is. You tend to find them in pogue positions or RIMF or guys that stay on the fob that never go outside the wire. The guys that go outside the wire, 98% are conservative. And I don't know why that is.
I know all cops are.
Yeah, it was on a show. What was that? All cops vote Republican.
Yeah.
There was a line in a movie the other night.
3 things cops don't do. They don't vote Democrat.
That was it. That was it. What is that from?
Remember what the second one was, but they don't drive personal vehicles. It's Jack Reacher.
That was it. Jack Reacher.
I can't remember what the second thing is, but he's spot on. That's a fact. Yep.
But hold on. Thunderduck says my name's origin and combination of the former A. Oh, yeah. I figured that's what it was from. Somebody must have asked him. Cam's here. Good morning. And we are 10 minutes into the show. That means we got to start the slideshow. Yep, that slideshow.
Oh,
Martine.
There it is.
Professionals at work, people.
Anna was not sure about this movie when she started watching. She was getting a little confused by things, but then she caught on and went, "Oh, this is a good
it took
movie."
me a while. It took me a while. But
Oh man!
it also took us like 4 hours to get through it because
They
we
did an
pause all the time.
amazing job of dressing those T-34s up as tiger tanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
They
the
really did.
Yugoslavian
That's
army.
the man right
They did
there.
a great job on that.
That guy steals the show right there.
This guy, a lot of people don't recognize him, but he's familiar. He was in Star Trek, the original series.
Yep.
He was on that planet that was over. I think they were overpopulated. Was that the one? No. It was where they got oh my God, where they're peaceful and the Klingons are there. And,
right.
I was talking about Donald Sutherland with his name popped up.
Yeah.
Oh, Donald will.
He steals the
Donald
show.
will be later. Yeah.
Do you know the name of the character of the German colonel character?
Yeah, Doomkopf.
Yeah. I was
Such
laughing.
a funny name. I was laughing so
Yeah, it
hard.
is Doomkopf. Yep.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that this is actually based on a true story, an actual event that took place. Not to mention there are a couple of other smaller events, but it really did happen, and there was actually 3 Tiger tanks guarding a bank. And a bunch of GIs said, "We're going to take that fucking bank." And they did, just like in the movie. And it's really funny. A lot of people go, "Oh," they watch these movies, these military movies, and they think, "Oh, it's just made this stuff." No, it's almost always inspired by something that actually happened. Hogan's Heroes is based on Stalag 17, which was based on actual events.
Yes.
Oh,
The writers.
the first breach of the day by Cam.
Yes, and I did record something
You
last
have
night,
a
but I never
video
had time
for
to
that.
render.
Oh, I have a clip of that. So,
Oh, did you get it?
Oh yeah, Cam, here is your clip.
Cowboy, check around and see if there's a back door.
There you go. Another one too. He says in the rear. It's when they're arguing about the bridge at the bridge.
Most of my gears jammed in the rear.
Yeah, most of my gears jammed in the rear.
And Gerry pauses it and says, "I think I need to record that." And I was like,
But I didn't have time to do anything with it. So
You know, Gerry, our generation may be the last one that really appreciates Don Rickles.
And Don Rickles is the other comedian, by the way, who had the greatest impact on my own sense of humor.
Oh
and
my
how
God.
I insult people.
Oh my God. I mean, the dude, he was an old man when we were kids, but my gosh, he's hilarious. The man is just
CPO Sharky was one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Sakura in the house. Good to see you
Zach
again, my
Rose
friend.
015. What's up? Good morning. And there, Stuart Margolin. Most people know him from Love American Style and The Rockford Files.
Yep.
Telly Savalas.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody get that man a lollipop.
He did not start doing that until he gave up smoking.
Yep. I think
He
it's
was a
funny.
big
in the movie
smoker. It's what killed
Scrooge.
him.
I think it's funny in the movie Scrooge. They actually, they talk about doing programming for animals and having a detective that uses a ball of string, kind of like Telly Savalas used a lollipop and stuff. You know?
Right.
It's funny. No. I'll tell you my favorite movie with Telly Savalas in it was Capricorn 1, though. I love him as that crop dusting pilot.
Yeah. By the way, a lot of people don't know the guy that plays First Sergeant Mulligan in this, that he's always yelling at, was also on his TV show Who Loves You, Baby? What was that show called? I forgot it.
Kojak.
Kojak.
Hey, look what
that is George Savalas, his brother, his real
Yeah.
brother, the guy with the curly hair that starts apologizing to Kelly in this movie.
Yeah.
That's Tully's brother.
Wow.
And he was on the show. He's a major character. Ich verstehe.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen this one, but the thing I've never forgotten, and we'll get to it when he shows up, is Donald Sutherland. He steals the whole show when he shows up.
Oh man, I have never seen Sutherland in a comic character before. It was killing me. Me and my daughter, I cannot with this guy.
He's actually done a lot of comedies back in the late 60s and into the 70s. And Gas is one of my favorites. Spies, another one. But he and Elliot Gould were very close friends since they made MASH.
Yeah,
and they
but
did 3
everybody
movies together.
remembers him from Clute and Invasion of the Body Snatchers remake.
Well, he was so good in the dramatic roles.
Yeah.
That people forgot this guy has great comic chops. And in this one, he is not like any other tanker. Because I showed Anima pictures of what American Sherman tankers looked like, the armor guys.
My
They
grandfather
were very straightforward guys, man.
They don't mess around.
This was absolutely about the hippies. This movie came out in 1970, and Clint Eastwood made a conscious decision to push to make some of this stuff contemporary feeling, so the audience would identify with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was all it was for. And it works in its own way.
Oh my God.
It throws you off at first, like it threw Anima off. But
Yeah, because it doesn't feel like World War II. Not at all. It's so confusing. It feels more like Vietnam.
Yeah, but that's what there you go. Because this was during Vietnam.
The negative waves. Damn it.
Oh yeah.
And I love how he gets the liquor out and gets this German drunk as fuck.
Yes.
One thing I have to say about this movie, most of the German is real German. Like they really speak it and it sounds great. Because nowadays American
German
movies
actors
that have German soldiers, it's horrible.
Really?
Well, this actor here, which his name is, let me get it for you real quick. Hold on. That is David Hirsch. He and the other actor, Carl Otto Alberti, both are from Berlin. They're both from Berlin. So they're genuine. But a lot of the German-speaking actors aren't German at all. They're from Yugoslavia. They're local.
But they shot it in what is now Croatia, and a lot of people speak German there.
It's so frustrating, Glenn, when you watch that scene because they're just inches away from being on the path.
Yeah.
And if you didn't recognize the guy that gets killed there, I'm trying to find him real quick because
when they had to leave them behind in the field, I was like, oh my God, no, they are dead. I had such a bad feeling. And then they get killed. Terrible scene. And they can't even go get the dog tags because of the mines. It's just sad.
Yeah, they had to leave. They couldn't go back and get it because they couldn't risk any more people. I'm trying to find him, and I'm not finding him here. The actor that played him, he's not listed. What is this? How weird. The actor that is digging, closest to the trail, isn't listed here. That is odd.
It is.
Sometimes they slip through the cracks.
Go ahead and keep talking. I'm trying to look up something.
Yeah, man. This movie here, I saw it the first time when I was a kid. My dad used to show us all these war movies and stuff. And, man, it is different from most war movies you'll see because a lot of it doesn't have to do with the military. These guys are just trying to pull off a heist,
Well, a lot of it is very comedic.
Yep.
Which is untypical for a war movie. It's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Has its dark moments, like when you see war scenes and stuff, but it's also very funny.
Yep. And Clint is pretty much himself in it, the easygoing, in control dude, Telly Savalas is himself. It's perfect casting in the movie. They really didn't have to act, any of them. It's pretty good.
There are a lot of background actors in this. Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah.
Lynn Lesser is the engineer, the bridge engineer. Gavin McLeod plays Moriarty.
Gavin
you know him as
McLeod.
you know him as Captain Stubing on Love Boat.
Yep.
Always with the
He's
negative
also-
waves, Moriarty.
Yeah, he. Anybody who knows their war movies knows that he was also in the Sand Pebbles. Let's see, he was also in Mary Tyler Moore. Prolific actor.
Yeah. Gavin McLeod.
Carol O'Connor is an odd character in this as the general that believes that they're actually, these guys are fighting a battle. He has no idea it's about the gold.
Yeah.
You mean Big Joe?
What?
Why does it always look like?
What, hun?
Oh.
What did you say?
You mean Big Joe?
No, I'm talking about Major General Colt.
Oh, that one.
Yeah. He's, I think he's a 2-star or 3-star general. I can't remember. Now, what's funny about Savalas is he's wanting all this information because he wants to take it easy when they get someplace and fucking have a good night's sleep in a hotel and find some hookers. That's what he's thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Clint Eastwood, when he finds those lead bars that are clearly painted gold, you know, they're gold underneath paint.
Right.
He has a different idea. Oh, absolutely. It's on the list. I told Anima that I'm going to introduce her to that film because it's one of my favorite films of all time.
That's a classic. Yeah.
Another person in that movie is Joe Turkel, who played Tyrell in Blade Runner. He was also the bartender in The Shining.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the few actors who's been in multiple Stanley Kubrick films. Is Joe Turkel. Ironically, a lot of people know this. Joe Turkel cannot memorize lines. He has a memory issue, and so like you can really notice it in Blade Runner that he doesn't look at the actor. He looks off away from them all the time, which looks good on camera. It's interesting. It's like he's disconnected, but the reason he's doing it is because he had cue cards.
Cue cards. Yeah.
Taped up all over the place. For
Is
him
it
to turn and
me
look
or
at.
is Tully Savalas' regular tone of voice to yell at people? I mean,
Yeah, that's his normal tone. It's sort of like, you know, a good friend of ours that produces this show. Ma, I'm doing a show.
that's it, man.
Some people are just
That's
naturally loud, like
Loud.
Scott.
That's right. I'm trying to put this up here. Turkel is also in Paths of Glory with Kirk Douglas. Like I said, he's one of those few actors that's in multiple films by Kubrick. And Kubrick did have favorite actors. But sometimes when you notice that Kirk Douglas worked with him twice, but never again, because they had an out. They fell apart. Making, what's the one where he's a gladiator?
Spartacus.
Spartacus. They did not get along anymore. Nicholson made one movie with him, and if it had been up to Kubrick, they would have worked together again, but he did not like the way Kubrick made films. He made it laborious and difficult. And he said making that movie was a nightmare. And so he would never work with Kubrick again.
Wow.
We know Kubrick directed the moon landings. But
So they say.
But he insisted on realism, so they had to shoot on location.
Okay, you saved yourself with me.
That's awesome. That's good.
That was a good one.
I'm so stealing that the next time my brother says that shit. I swear to God, man. Oh, too funny. That's good. That's good.
So I love this part where he's so drunk and he just gives up information. I shouldn't.
Just gives it all up. Yeah.
14,000.
It's just so funny.
I love this movie. I really do.
Yep.
This is a favorite of my dad's too.
This
I remember
is one
going.
of the ones me and my dad watched together.
I went to see it with him in the theater.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to add a clip of Brian in this scene. Where is my money, man?
Oh me. But
Yeah, I have to rewatch this at some point because the first half hour or so I was just confused and like, what the fuck am I watching? And then I got into it and enjoyed it. So I want to go back and enjoy the first half hour too.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, when you hear Carol O'Connor talking in this, absolutely sounds like Archie Bunker in this. He's trying to do a Southern accent. And it's terrible.
oh my God, really? He never was good at a Southern accent.
No, he's terrible at it.
That TV show he was on, the television show from In the Heat of the Night. Yeah.
Yeah,
Horrible. I mean, the
great actor.
Horrible, but
Carol
his
O'Connor's a
was.
great actor, but man, he sounds like somebody from New York trying to do a Southern accent.
Yeah, it's too over the top. That's ridiculous.
Oh, nice. I made sure to get a dragonfly into my cover art for G.I. Joe when I did it. It was one of my favorite vehicles. My men need broads or they're going to go crazy with each other. That was a great line.
Okay, I have to ask a technical question, and I've always wondered this, and I've never been able to ask anybody that might know the answer. What is the deal with the webbing on top of their piss pots? Is that for sticking twigs and shit in to break up the outline? Is that what that's for?
Yeah.
Okay. Because we never had that, you know, and you see it a lot in World War II movies, you know, that webbing.
Well, they kept it for a while, and the most accurate depiction of it I've seen is in Band of Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the one character who gets wounded on D-Day and has to go to hospital and recover and doesn't come back for a couple months after they've already gone through all kinds of shit, you'll notice he's the only one with the webbing still on there.
Yeah.
Because they all lost it once they got to Bastogne.
Okay.
By the time they got to, I don't know. I have to go back and check it out. When they did the Battle of the Bulge, I don't think any of them had it at that point either, or most of them had lost it by that point because it wasn't necessary anymore.
Right.
It was only necessary during the invasion because the Germans knew where they were and they knew where the Germans were. So why have it?
I just wondered always what it was there for, and I figured
this movie,
that's it.
This movie set in 1944, so that's almost the end of the war. So why would they?
Yeah, so odds are they didn't have it. There he is. That's Telly Savalas' brother.
No. And now I can see he's his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Once you had told me, I can see Telly's in his face.
And I always thought he was funny as hell, man. That guy cracked me up. And just like his brother, Savalas had hair all the way up into the 60s. And he started having a serious receding hairline, male pattern baldness. That's when he started shaving his head.
Welcome, Alex. And Monkey Jeebus.
Hey, Alex here. Yeah, Monkey Jeebus is here. Anybody else pop in?
We got 15 people. Nice.
I hope everybody's having a great week so far. I know that it was an interesting weekend. We had a great show on Saturday.
Yes, you did. Yes,
we had Razor Fist, Tom, because Tom and I do the show to begin with. But we invited Andre on because we were going to be talking about Conan the Barbarian, one of his favorite films of all time.
One of everybody's favorite films. Come on.
And we were at Tom's birthday bash, and I invited Razor Fist, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'll go." And then we put it on the thumbnail. Maybe he'll be there because I know how
he showed up 1 hour early.
He showed up. Anima and I are in there just talking. All of a sudden, Razor Fist is in the room with us.
I was like, "Holy shit!"
Like, you're an hour early, dude. So he hung out with us for like an extra hour.
That was so cool.
He seems like a really cool dude, man.
Oh, I like him. We've talked Blade Runner before, and I've tried to get him to show up for the Blade Runner specials because I want to hear him talk. And speaking of Blade Runner, I saw Doomcock. You know I love Doomcock. But he started doing the whole Deckard's a replicant and mocking anybody who believes otherwise. It's like, you do that and you just sound stupid when you do it because you clearly don't understand storytelling. Also, Deckard wasn't a replicant until it was made public. That movie had been out for over 10 years before that debate happened. And it was because it was finally made public what Ridley had said. And then all of a sudden the debate began. And why is it stupid that people believe that? Because nobody thought that before.
No.
Nobody had said that before. There was no
I
debate
didn't-
before Ridley said that publicly,
When you,
or that it was made public.
I didn't hear any of that stuff until I got in this sphere on YouTube. I was like,
Yeah.
"What are you talking about, man?"
Yeah, Razor Fist is in my court. That yeah, he's not. He's
not.
But I love Doom Comic. I don't care, man, whether he feels that way.
Of course,
or not,
I haven't seen the sequel, so I don't know.
And the sequel, the reason why Ridley isn't there directing is because of that argument.
Yeah.
He started the argument again with Harrison while they were drinking, and when it was reported that they had the discussion again, they made light of it. But immediately, Ridley was no longer the director. He was an executive producer.
Imagine that. Harrison got that kind of
because Harrison said, "I'm going to fucking go. I'm not doing this shit again." I'm just telling you, that's what happened. It's obvious what happened.
Cool.
Because it caused contention between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Harrison was pissed about that shit.
Oh man, these guys cook up the scheme.
Well, I got to tell you that I love modern helmets. I wore Kevlar, you know, but during part of my training,
they still had pit spots when we were in. So, yeah.
As I was about to say, during part of my training, we got Steel Pots M1 helmets, and because Kevlar was not fully available yet for everybody. And eventually when the Kevlars came in, we put them on. But for part of my basic training, I wore a steel pot. And but in AIT, I wore Kevlar.
We had steel pots the entire time I was in.
I said basic, I'm at AIT.
Yeah.
Basic, we wore Kevlar.
They were transitioning a lot of the equipment when I was getting out in '86. They were transitioning to Kevlar helmets shortly after I got out. My entire time in the Guard, we didn't have them because, you know, the Guard gets all the hand-me-downs. So we had steel pots the entire time. Then I was in the Guard.
Yeah, my unit was the first unit, reserve unit, to get Humvees.
Really? Yeah. See,
for our ambulances.
That was the other thing. They were switching from Jeeps to Humvees. They were switching the sidearm from the Colt 45 to the Beretta 9mm.
And to get qualified as a driver of a Humvee, you are qualified all the way up to a deuce and a half when you take that driver's test.
Yeah, imagine. You'd have to be. It's a lot bigger vehicle.
Again, I want to point out that Savalas at this point is still not convinced about the heist. He's just not sold on doing this shit. And I love that it takes him the longest to convince.
Yeah.
Rickles' character coming on, I think, even adds more difficulty for him joining, because Rickles, because he has so little respect for that character.
Yeah, the fucking captain, he's telling them not to loot, and he's looting a fucking yacht.
Yeah.
Right?
Because it's an executable offense if you get caught by command. If command catches you, they'll shoot you.
And yet he's still looting a yacht.
Yep. Well, look at all the shit behind Rickles here. That is all looted.
Now he's a supply guy, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those guys know where everything is, dude.
I've met a lot of supply guys. They're all shifty.
Yeah, they are. Every
single supply guy I ever knew is shifty.
Yes,
I told you I would not carry a main weapon, and it was required to. I refused. I carried a sidearm, and I told my sergeant, if you can get me a Colt Commando, I'll carry a main weapon. Thinking there's no way he's ever going to get one of those. And he made a connection with the guy that a lot of shifty guys in the weapons department, the guys that I forget what they're called. Oh my God, I just had a brain fart. Where you go to supply your weapons.
Quartermaster?
Thank you, quartermasters.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are fucking shifty too.
And the supply chain is.
My sergeant came back. He had to make a few deals. And he came back and handed me a fucking Colt Commando. That was the predecessor to the M4. In fact, the X M4 was designed after the Colt Commando. The Colt Commando, is from Platoon, if you've seen Platoon, because that's what Elias carries. I think actually both characters carry the Colt Commando.
Hmm.
Him
It's called
and
the A1, right?
it's based on the A1, but it's a short carbine. It's got a shorter barrel, shorter weapon stock.
Mm-hmm.
It's more compact, and it's better for close quarter combat than the M16, because M16 is a long rifle.
What caliber is it?
Same thing. 5.56, 223, a glorified 22.
Gotcha.
God, Rickles is so good in this role.
Yeah, he is. There's two guys that chew up the scenery in this show, and it's him and Sutherland. Those guys just take over the screen.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you, because usually chewing up the scenery is kind of like not a good thing.
Yeah.
Rickles throws out insults in this movie that I don't know if he improvised those or not. I suspect he did. Also, there he is. There he is.
There's
The second star of this movie is Donald Sutherland.
Oddball.
Oddball is one of the best characters in this movie, but you have to just simply accept the fact that a hippie existed in World War II. That's the only thing you get past. Once you get past that, you fall in love with his character. What's with the negative, man? Always with the negative.
He's a stoner. What's not to like? He's fun.
Right?
Even the German chick he's bedding up there, she looks like a hippie.
I was fixing to say, man.
Yeah.
He's in a war zone and got a chick with him. I mean, come on, man.
I like it later.
This whole camp of gypsies playing music and stuff.
Well, I love the scene when Savalas asks him as they're in the village later. He's like, "What are you doing? Just catching some rays, man."
Drinking wine, eating cheese.
He goes, why aren't you in your tank? And he goes, "Oh, it's busted, man. They're working on it." "Why aren't you helping him?" "I drive the things. I don't know how to work on them."
Right?
He's so cool.
I love his character and his New York accent that he does. Because in real life, a lot of people know that he's Canadian. But he is really good with his accent. And he does somebody from Brooklyn. And I just love his accent. And in order for Kelly to get his plan to work, he has to have tanks. But he's withholding information from even Oddball. And that information is they know that there are 3 Tiger tanks guarding that bank. And if you know anything about World War II and the tank system, you know that the Sherman tank could not fight a Tiger tank. The only thing that it had over the Tiger was it was faster.
Yeah.
And they could get away from him and drive around him faster than the Tigers could do. And it frustrated the tankers, but the goal was get behind the Tiger tank.
Get behind the Tiger. You had to hit the fuel on the back of it. Yep.
The standard
3
technique.
week. And I showed them to Anima over the weekend. There are 3 weak points of the Tiger tank, and they show one of them during the battle in the town in Saving Private Ryan, where they threw sticky bombs up against the side where the caissons are, because that's a weak point. The other weak point, and you see it in the movie too, is when the Tiger tank goes up over a ridgeline and then drops. When that belly is exposed, that is another weak spot. A bazooka hit there, kill everybody inside. And people go, well, how would that kill everybody inside? It would cause the metal inside in the explosion to become fragmented. And it would begin ricocheting all over the inside of a tank.
Small is the proper
and just
term.
chopping them up and killing them. It's the same thing like firing a weapon into a tank. If you fire into there, you're creating and you got to lean back. They would do that. They would lean back and just empty into the hatch, and the bullets would just keep ricocheting and killing people inside. And it was a horrible place to die inside of a tank. I like that look. He always looks so dire. He's got that look of direness. Also, there's a great nod in this movie, if you guys remember it later, when the 3 of them are out there and they're going to approach Otto, the German tank commander, to make a deal with him. The music they play is a spaghetti western thing.
Yes.
It turns into a western at that point. It's totally
I love
western.
it. I love when Oddball turns his pistol sideways in the holster.
I always thought Clint Eastwood's look was, what the fuck? That's what I
He
thought
just-
that Prince was.
He
you know?
looks, if you look at him, he looks like somebody who's been constipated for 2 weeks. That's the look on his face, because I've seen that look as a medic. That it's very,
Oh man.
always uncomfortable. You know, squinting at everybody.
That's the message I always read through that wince is what the hell?
Now, there's no question it would get hot during part of the war in Europe, and they would dress down. But there are a couple of scenes in this film that irritate me because they wouldn't do that, where you wouldn't catch somebody without their fucking gear on or their fucking a top. If you get caught with that, somebody's going to smoke your ass, even back in World War II. Also in World War II, you'll see in the movie, there's one character walking around with 3 stripes and a T underneath it. And that is a technical sergeant, which means he's not a sergeant at all. Technical means it's sort of like specialist, Spec 4. It is the early version of something like that. It meant that you were specialized and had a rank in that specific area. Like the combat medic Rowe in Band of Brothers has the technical or technician sergeant.
Okay. So did that?
Oh man, this was such a letdown. I wanted to see what they were going to do that night. That was so awesome that it beats moving the tanks, and they never show.
Yeah, it's a setup in the film that never pays off. But you kind of ignore it. Like maybe it didn't happen. Also, almost all your cast in this film are veterans.
Wow. That's cool.
Every single major character is a veteran, as I recall. I'll have to double check. Yeah, I'm looking. I think every major character, including Harry Dean Stanton.
Wow.
Stuart Margolin, I'm not sure about him, if he served. I'm going to check right now.
Hold on.
Now, a lot of people don't know Don Rickles and I think Savalas's brother served in the Navy.
Yeah. I knew Don did.
And I know that Stuart Margolin was best friends in real life with James Garner, who was a decorated Korean War veteran.
This guy, man, he's too much. He's got an answer for everything.
It's hard to believe we just lost him last year, by the way, Stuart Margolin. Oh, man, the Almond Joy back there always gets my attention. I'm a big Almond Joy fan. And those are soap bars, by the way, up there.
I'm just saying, whiskey
that was
still
money.
has got behind him, man. He has got a
liquor and soap is serious money for military people. Because nobody wants to be around a soldier that stinks.
Yep. In the field.
Yeah, we probably have stories about that, Gerry.
This is so. Oh my god! He gave the.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I love. The other thing I love about this film is the cinematography in it. I really do. I like all the way the way this film was shot. All these medium 2 shots.
Yep.
Medium full shots. Medium 3 shot there. Just everything is perfect in this movie. Margolin, the way he keeps looking at Clint in that scene, I love that.
Yeah,
every character was doing their job as actor. Look at him, the way he keeps looking at Clint. I love the way he keeps side-eyeing him. And it kills the entire crew. Tank crews would die the worst fucking deaths of anybody in the war. Well, and you would hear stories of guys, get the fuck out of the tank or and they put the bottom hatch in for guys to get the fuck out quick.
Yeah, all that inner armor would just spall and bounce around.
The joke is that your coffin.
Yeah.
It's your home and it's your coffin. odds are you're going to be killed in
And
it.
it's a hot
That's
one.
why you
too.
have reactive armor now.
Thank you,
Yep.
Martin.
When it's glad. to be
Reactive armor is how almost all armor works now. It works through a system. And I was trying to explain it to Anima one day. She goes, "How can you take extra shots?" I said, "The fact is, the armor is less effective, but it'll still catch those rounds. The difference is that once that first round hits it and shatters it, you're going to be feeling like you just got hit by a baseball bat in your ribs every single time you get hit after that. I mean, it's rough to get
That
shot.
was when he shot the Punisher, right?
Yeah. But it's like when he kept shooting him, I'm like, he's feeling that. It'll save him, but he's feeling it.
But he's feeling every bit of that. Yep.
Yep. Oh, wait. Monkey. What did Monkey say here? There's that bastard Rickles. Yes. Sib of a bitch, son of a bitch, wanted to talk shit on Dennis the Menace too, so I had to make him cry. Who, Rickles? Yeah, that'll be the fucking day.
Right.
I love it when Monkey Jeebus goes a bridge too far in his brags.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I'm calling you on that one.
Okay, bud. I've got a widescreen picture of that.
Use remote tanks. They actually do. They have remote vehicles now. And eventually, they're trying to get it to where they have AI driving these things. And the problem is what the military is doing or people within the Department of Defense are trying to do is get it to where if they have to turn those weapons on American citizens, they won't have any pause. Because American citizens that serve in the military would have pause to shoot American citizens. AI robots won't. Oh my God! He made fun of him for being old and dying soon.
God damn it, Jeebus!
That's not even funny, Jeebus.
No,
that's
it is because Don Rickles.
Up.
That's the kind of shit Don Rickles would do.
Yeah, he would.
He's done that. That's part of his comedy thing, going dark.
He gives 0 Fs.
Yeah, Don
0
Rickles.
Fs.
He goes, "What do you care? You're going to be dead soon anyway."
Right? That sounds like something Don would say, no doubt.
The actors are too old for the characters. Well, look, back in 1970, nobody really gave it much thought. They really didn't. They didn't realize that the average age of the American soldiers during World War II was between 19 and 22. They just never think about it. There's no question about it. There were soldiers that were serving all the way up to almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're old enough, I mean, my grandfather tried to go back in, and he was too old. Because he was 40. He was 42 at the onset of World War II. My grandfather, and he tried to go in, and they said he was too old. He tried to re-enlist. He went down, and he went down with my Uncle Jack. And my Uncle Jack was young enough. He went in, and he fought in Europe. In fact, he was in the same unit as Audie Murphy.
Audie Murphy.
I miss my Uncle Jack. He was my favorite uncle on my dad's side. Then my Uncle Red, he was in the Pacific on my mother's side. And he was my favorite uncle on that side of the family. I love being around warriors. There he is, Carol O'Connor. Mm-hmm. He starts bragging about the German. This is my counterpart, and everybody's like, I don't know who that is. He's trying to be like Eisenhower, Bradley, and Patton by having his contemporary, and that's what that's making fun of. Is how Patton had his, Eisenhower had his. They all had their contemporaries on the enemy side.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in fact, Patton had two people
Rommel?
he considered Rommel and
God, I don't remember.
Montgomery.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He
I always
hated
remember
Montgomery.
Rommel from that movie, man. I read your book.
I read your book, you glorious bastard. And that's on our list to watch too, by the way, Patton.
Wasn't that the North Africa scene? Where
Yep.
tank battle?
Yeah, because Rommel was North Africa.
Yeah, it's where Rommel was.
Mm-hmm. Too good. Yeah, they all had their.
Yeah,
names.
you told me about that before, Glenn, and I think you even shared a photo with me, didn't you? It's either a photo of him or a photo he took. I remember you sharing a photo with me. I play video games where I can physically do anything, so I have to break you mentally.
My grandfather was with Patton at the Battle of the Bulge. He was in a tank. He was a tanker. Yeah. Lucky he survived that war.
He's still staring at that photo.
Yeah.
My grandpa drove a half track for the 20th Armored.
Man, half tracks. One of my favorite model kits I ever built right there is doing a half
I
track.
tell you, the thing I'll never forget about my grandfather was his war room he had in his basement, man. Huge Nazi flag behind his friggin' desk. He had a working grease gun, one of those officers' machine guns that they had.
That's a 45, yeah.
Yeah, it's a big gun. He had a Hitler Youth knife. Nazi helmet. He brought back a bunch.
You keep saying words that get us
Wow.
threatened by YouTube. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Sorry, bud.
It's okay.
Facts are facts.
They are.
Yeah.
The dude
really
with the
cool.
fez hat cracks me up. Like, where the fuck did he get that fez hat?
Yeah.
There he is, Moriarty. Always with the negative. They're like a married couple.
Yeah, he's the
Oddball and
woman.
Moriarty. Moriarty's the woman. Always with the negative.
The negative waves, man.
Hissing and moaning.
Waves.
Yeah, he's just whining all the time without having a real reason to whine.
Even his facial expression.
Suppose the bridge ain't there. Always with the negative.
With the negative waves so early in the
Why
morning.
can't you think so positive, man? Why can't you think positive? Just believe it's going to be there. Fucking Donald Sutherland should have got an Oscar for this role.
He should have. Like I said, it's been a long time since I've seen it, but I always remembered that character.
See, yes, you talked to me about this before, Glenn, and I remember you sharing a photo that was going to go with that.
The most interesting thing about Oddball is when he's commanding his tank, he's another person completely.
Yeah.
He's really effective.
And
Not
by
so
the way,
chill when he's in the tank.
Exactly. By the way, my uncle was in the same, like I said, he was the same unit as Audie Murphy. He was Third Infantry Division. And he had some stories he would share with us when I was a kid. I like being around warriors since I was a child. I like being around them.
It's a man thing.
I don't know. Because I know a lot of guys that would prefer not doing it. I had a buddy, by the way, I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this. He was a fucking merc. And he used to hang out with us at the arcade. And one day he wasn't there anymore. He didn't show up anymore. And I finally asked a Marine buddy of mine what happened to him, if he could find out. And he found out that through his family, he'd been killed. And he had been working as a merc for drug runners. And he got killed by what I believe was a Navy sniper, SEAL.
Mm-hmm.
He was going across a gangplank and got shot off of it into the water. And I was like, well, you
work for the
fucking
bad
do
guys.
that shit. Felt bad about it, but it was like, you chose that.
I believe the book says live by the sword, die by the sword, boys and girls.
Yeah. Air Corps knocks him down. They build him back overnight.
No, we've only got about a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yes, pause here because this is before the plane attack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the friendly fire.
It's doesn't feel too friendly.
No, and it destroys their cars.
Friendly fire is still fire. That's just all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we see that in Hamburger Hill, they showed that when helicopters came in, just fucking cutting them to pieces.
Oh,
They're on men.
God. Gary and I had a
She-
moment after the friendly fire. We both thought there was a body over one of the cars. It was just a helmet hanging.
Yeah,
there.
it was a helmet hanging
We,
over
we
the
went
seat.
back to check. And
Like, went back, like, what the heck did
okay.
I just see here? Oh, but I got to point out the reason why they're getting shot at is where they're someplace they're not supposed to be.
Yep.
Is why they got shot at. It's their own fault. You know, they don't have good enough cover to hide them from their own air.
They're not supposed to be there.
And there we go.
They're
Pause
doing
it.
their own shit.
I keep asking, pause it, because I don't want to get to the friendly shooting. I want to get
Pause.
to the commercial break and come
Pause.
back.
Martine, you there?
All right, I'm doing it. All right, it's paused. All right, Bill, do us a favor. Take us to the commercial break so we can come back and watch the rest of this.
Hi guys, this is Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans are chronically dehydrated? If you struggle with focus, run low on energy, or when it's time to finally sleep, you simply can't, this can all be linked to dehydration, and Fuel Up has the answer. Our proprietary formula contains the finest cellular hydration with the strongest immune-enhancing natural ingredients. The Fuel Up system is made up of 3 different incredibly tasting varieties. Wake kickstarts your day with a jolt of caffeine. Play boosts focus while hydrating your cells. Rest not only helps you relax, but also rejuvenates your cells while you sleep. Here's what our clients have to say.
I really don't miss my coffee, and you can tell the difference.
So I'm going to take it for the energy. I'm going to take it for the play. I'm going to take it, all day.
And it works. That's the thing. It works. We love it.
Take the Fuel Up Challenge now, where we offer a Feel the Difference money-back guarantee. Fuel Up for life.
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh wow, we survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA.
And by the way, Glenn, I'd like to see the book. If you got a digital copy, I'd like to read it. If it's available, let me know where I can get it. So I would like to read the book.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was using the regular player. I thought he was just sharing it. Otherwise, I would have hit pause.
And I need to keep it right here. I love that. You got a good head for tactics, and I'd like to keep it right here.
Right?
Grandson is watching Looney Tunes on Freevee. Look, I love those old Looney Tunes. They're considered not too PC, and I like that.
That is one of the biggest selling points of Max, formerly known of HBO Max. They're all
Here it comes.
on there.
Here it comes. And the minute you see it do the flyby and you catch it moving away from them, you realize, oh my God, that's an American plane.
Mm-hmm.
They're in German occupied territory. In fact, I think that's a Hellcat, isn't it?
You would think maybe in an Air Force ROTC for 4 years, I'd know that stuff, but I'm
pretty sure that's a Hellcat. That's the same plane that disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle with that flight team.
Okay.
The Flight 17?
Yeah, whatever its number. I don't remember. If that's it, I'll take your word for it.
The one they found at the beginning of Close Encounters? Is that what you're talking
Yes.
And the planes all still work? That was cool.
Yeah.
They're still full of fuel.
Yeah.
And they're lucky nobody got killed here. They really are.
Yeah,
because they attack twice. They come back and shoot them again.
With rockets, no less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How young these guys are. Harry Dean Stanton was a kid when he made this movie.
Oh, and he's so good in this.
Yeah.
You know, the harmonica scene's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Singing the dog about the dog. Don't kick my dog.
Clint's hairdo is all wrong for this movie, though.
Oh, movie stars and their haircuts in war films. Nice high and tight, motherfucker.
Right.
Gotta look pretty. It's Hollywood. It's still Hollywood, guys.
Right. It's
now his hair is acceptable. All these other guys have haircuts that you would actually see out in the field, but not Clint Eastwood's.
No. Oh my God.
Haven't seen this movie, but been enjoying the show. Had to add praise for Rickles, one of his most fearless and brutal comics ever. Heard he was encouraged to improv on movie. There's actually a video out there of behind the scenes when he got on camera and roasted Clint Eastwood live on camera. Just improvised the whole thing, just shit all over Clint Eastwood, making fun of him. And Clint's laughing, just like, oh my God, shaking his head. Oh, this is horrible.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood's got to have that proper feather in his hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that perfect wispiness.
Look, there's no way he'd have the time in the field to do that. No way.
To be fair, though, guys, they have been...
And besides, he's wearing a helmet. He took it off, and it looks like that? Come on.
They have been there for a couple of years, probably, and we also see that it's utter chaos. Like, nothing is organized, so why would their hair be?
Right? His hair.
I'm okay with that.
After
it's
taking
the end
off
of
a
the
helmet.
war.
So I like the fact that Don Rickles is the one made to carry the 30 cal.
Yeah.
And bitching about it.
Kelly Savalas says, give the 30 to the hustler.
And he tries to buy his way out of it.
I'll pay you $50. You get the 50 on you now? No, you know, I'm not good for it. You know, I make it 100. You got 100 on you? No, I didn't have 50. Why would you think I got 100? Oh my God, it's so fucking funny.
And here they come.
Yeah, this is a great scene of absolute destruction. I love this moment. Like, they just come out of this tunnel and just blow everything up. I'm telling you, it must have been a blast working that set that day, doing all the pyrotechnics.
I'm sure they had fun.
It was such a terrible tank, but at the same time did so much awesome work in World War II. It was a little workhorse, man. It really was.
Yeah.
Gavin looks
and
like...
by the way, guys, one of the reasons it was shot in Croatia was that they were actually still using those tanks in the military, the Yugoslavian army.
In that shot, we're past it now. I wanted to point it out at the time, is he really looked like George Kennedy when he was squinting and gritting his teeth.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin McLeod.
There you see his other side.
The ball
he
30,
has different
man.
personality when he's operating.
All about business when he's doing his work.
Yep.
Oh, baby.
That's when he's a soldier. When he's not doing soldier shit, he's just a pothead. Very chill.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that these are all not Croatians, but Yugoslavian stuntmen and actors. Basically,
oh, for sure.
actors. Because, you know, they just said, okay, I do stunt.
I do stunt.
I got to tell you, I really do like a lot of these shots in this film because the destruction, and I don't know if these were standing buildings that they destroyed, or some of them I know were prop buildings that were set up.
Yeah, you
like
see a wall move at one point.
In fact, yeah, I pointed it out and we went back and watched it. You see Stanton, Harry Dean Stanton, slam up against the wall and the wall rippled.
Oh, no, that's not good.
It's supposed to be a stone wall. It absolutely rippled. It was funny.
That's almost as bad as when somebody falls from a height and you see the ground, the dirt around them
Give
actually
way.
bounce up from what they landed on. It's sitting underneath it. Yeah. Yeah. That's a snafu.
Yeah.
Once again, I have to ask, where's the helmet hair? Damn it. What the hell? Oh, me.
Well, that's a TARDIS helmet. It's bigger in the inside.
And by the way, for anybody that's curious, the unit patch you see on them is the 35th Infantry. And it's a blue patch with the cross hatch on it.
Cross. Yeah.
Mine, of course, I don't know. Do I have my pin on this hat? No, I don't. It's on my other hat. It was 29th ID.
That scene is so funny.
Well, anything with Gavin McLeod's funny.
My favorite one I had was the 89.
Oh, the bridge is there. Oh, they shut it down again. Because they were looking forward to getting across that bridge.
Mine was this one. It's got a dragon and a sword.
Now, again, I'm going to point out, you didn't see this kind of uniform diversity in World War II. This is Vietnam era shit.
Yep.
Tankers were dead serious guys, man. And they just did not fuck around with what they were wearing in World War II. And so, once again, this is one of the things that was added to make it more contemporary. And it works. I find it funny.
It's really weird because until you see the Germans and hear them, like when they show up for the first time and you hear them talk German, you're like, oh, that's right, when World War II. You completely forget
Again,
what
Sarge. You hear Sarge, and that's a World War II thing. You get caught calling a sergeant Sarge after that.
Yeah.
Fucking ass smoked.
Right.
There you go. Technical. Did you see that? You had the Sergeant Stripes with the T underneath.
So,
that meant he had a.
I love how
there
he
it is.
orders a bridge.
That's
on
corporal
the phone.
stripes. That's corporal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2 stripes.
Mm-hmm.
But still, his rank only counts
Right.
in his specific special skills.
Yeah.
And of course, that is Seinfeld's uncle from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I was going to ask you about that technical sergeant term earlier was, were they like a specialist where they weren't in a leadership role? They
Yes,
were just,
that's it. They could not take a leadership role. They had no command.
right.
That was why.
By the way, for those that don't understand the difference, they have Spec 4s, Spec 5s. That it starts at the enlisted rank of 4. Okay.
Yeah,
and
if you diverge off of corporal,
if they're in a leadership position, they're a corporal. They have 2 stripes. But if they're not in a leadership position, they're a Spec 4. They're a specialist.
Yeah, and I was temporarily put up to specialist, but immediately brought back to corporal. Well, I am what I am.
What are you going to do?
Then I left the military. So everybody was like, how did you get out of the military with that rank? And I'm like going, I quit to raise a kid while my wife stayed active duty. That's how.
Yeah.
I chose our child over my military career. And I hate saying it. Sometimes I regret it.
Dude.
I fucking love the military and I regret not getting to finish it. Yeah, they're in a fucking minefield.
I tell you when I regretted it, when a guy I joined with, there was a bunch of us in the ROTC that joined at the same time. And he pulls up to my house, guy that was one of the Golden Knights, their parachute team. He did a lot of work during the Iran-Contra thing down south of us, if you know what I'm saying. And he shows up about 6 months after he retired at the age of 38 in a brand new Jeep and tells me he's doing the same thing he did in the Army for 3 times the money over in Iraq, I'm like, dude, you got to be kidding me. I was just kicking myself in the ass for not finishing my career, but Johnson Island soured me on that shit. I wasn't going to stay in after that. So
the book you're talking about is called The Anarchist Cookbook. I read that book when I was 16. Jim Woodward and I both did, my childhood best friend. We read that book, learned lots of stuff. It's nothing special. We're not on. I'm on a watch list because I'm friends with Don Ecker.
Right? Who hasn't read the Anarchist Cookbook?
Everybody read that fucking book. There's nothing special about it, man. Yeah. It's not going to get you on a list.
No.
What'll get you on the list is if you use something from it against the public or against the government. Seeing Telly Savalas makes me want to check it if my Players Club card has expired. I remember that. Oh my god. Fuck yeah. Oh yeah, I like this scene.
Deleted scene.
Oh, Steven's here. What's up? Hail to all catching up with 2-Speed. Great flick. Donald Sutherland charged with Grand Theft movie. Oh, he stole this movie, and he should have. I shit you not. He should have gotten a nomination from this.
He should have. Yeah. There's certain people you never understand why they were nominated. It's like Jackie Gleason in Smokey and the Bandit. How did he not get nominated for that role? I mean, it's ridiculous. He steals everything he's in.
It's Hollywood's head up its ass, is what it is.
Yeah.
The cheat code for
30. Him and that fucking 30. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Don't ever, Gary, before we get too far from it, don't ever feel bad about not finishing your career, though, because
I don't.
You would not be the person you are.
What I feel bad about, no, hold on. What I feel bad about is I didn't get to finish what I started.
Right.
That's the only thing. I don't feel guilty over it. I made a decision that my child needed me. And so I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I missed it because I loved doing it. Yeah. I liked being a soldier.
Well, I got out of the National Guard in '89, and everybody I was in the Guard with there at the end was in Desert Storm, and I felt, I almost went and signed back up. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to go with them. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
But
now I'm going to tell you. I got to tell you. Hold on. I got to tell you. In this scene, the two guys who get left behind, they shouldn't have been left behind. They should have been through. I don't know why they're going so fucking slow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they are slow as fuck. They're like poke, poke, poke. It's not how you do it. You go down and then under, down and under. They're not even doing it correctly, how you're supposed to knife for a mine. The whole point was to not try to hit the top or the side, but to get under it and lift it up. Mm-hmm. And they're like going at it at such a snail pace. And I'm like, why the fuck are they? They weren't even that far away. We got guys in the back that are moving forward now. And these two are like trying to make their way over forever.
Technically, that's a bad spot in the movie.
Yeah. It wasn't believable, that part. But still, guys have been caught in this position. So I'm glad they put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the BAR guy. He's what would refer to today as the squad automatic weapon guy. And the BAR was a beast. In fact, I showed it to Anima, one of those things going off, firing full automatic, hitting a center block wall, just fucking destroyed that wall. BAR was a beast of a gun. The problem is the magazines couldn't hold enough rounds. So you were constantly, you fire, then you got to reload. Fire a burst, you got to reload. That's a pain in the ass. You needed a drum-loaded weapon. And that's why, like, the M60's belt-fed, and then the same thing with the SAW, but the SAW doesn't have the same problem that the M60 had. They have what's referred to as a nutsack. We call it a nutsack because it hangs underneath like a nutsack.
Yep.
And it's belt-fed, but you just load it in, clip it in, and it's just hanging there off the bottom of the gun. It's like a magazine, a cloth magazine.
You call it nutsack because you like perverted stuff like that.
No, it's a
Soldiers
nickname.
are like that.
Well, yeah, soldiers are fucked up.
But
the bar,
it's just a coincidence.
The BAR, what about it?
The bar was the favorite weapon of Clyde from Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah.
But
we never called it a bar. We called it a BAR.
But the belt was folded. If you didn't fold it correctly,
There's the Schmeiser, by the way, if you caught it. Schmeiser, submachine gun. And that was the German one, and then the American was the grease gun.
The grease gun.
And they kill the shit out of these Germans.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they die very dramatically.
Yeah, some of them
Deaths
like
in this movie are so
throw their arms up. Typical Hollywood deaths.
Yep.
And then these guys get smoked.
Yeah, it really sucks when they don't even get the chance to get the dog tags. And one of the guys even says, what if they're just wounded? What if they're not dead? But then they watch them a bit, and it's clearly that they are dead.
And instead of continuing laying down, he gets up, makes himself a better target.
Yeah.
Yeah, idiot. And
Movie.
then
Hollywood
dramatic
death. Hollywood
Movie.
death.
Movie. You're getting shot at. The only reason why you get up is to run.
You just, I tell you, man, when those bullets go over your head, the first thing you want to do is hold that ground, become
Get
one
down
with it.
low, baby. That's it. Make yourself a small target. Oh.
Harry Dean is so good.
And they actually train you on that. I don't know if you guys realize this, but in basic, there's a certain point when you're doing these exercises and stuff where they actually fire live rounds over your head. You're told about it beforehand, but it's to get you acclimated to having that happen. You know, and it's a scary thing, man.
I stand corrected. You are correct, Glenn. That is the MP40.
Yeah, that's a nice good news. You have a column of thanks to back you up.
Oh yeah, they really need them.
Yeah, but it's not just a column of thanks.
Look at him. He's George Washington crossing the Delaware right now.
It's a fucking army. He raised an army.
Which pisses everybody off because that's more to share with.
Right.
Yeah. It's a lot of money, but still, the more people, the less you get. So they're very.
Because right now they're at about 1 million each, and it gets less and less as people get killed, or more.
More
you
and
said
more.
it right, but the more people that are added gets less and less.
Less and less.
Those 16 million there, what's the equivalence today?
Ooh.
Hold on.
And this is 1940 what?
1944.
That's a lot of money.
This is the end of the war, 1944? Oh. Wow.
All right.
How much is
There's an online calculator I'm using right now for
Kill.
Yeah, it would be 275. Oh wait, yeah, that's wrong. Hold on.
In
hold on. I'm doing this. I've set it up. There we go. It would be $2.757 million.
That's a lot of money.
That is. Wait, that's not even right. What is it doing?
Because
it's not recognizing. Oh, it's not recognizing the commas. Hold on.
You said this is 17 million, right?
It'd
16.
be
16.
I'm sorry. Hello.
It's not calculating it correctly.
That's
Yeah, I'm trying. I think IMDb has something on it. I'm trying to find it.
That's 4,000.
It'd be $272 million.
Wow.
Almost 273.
Well
There you
over $250 million.
Yep.
Well over $250 million. Yeah.
That's a lot of money, eh?
That's a lot of gravy. That's a lot.
I was going to say the price of gold in 1944 was $35. The price of gold today is almost $2,000.
Wow.
Per ounce.
Wow.
And there's 475,000 ounces and $16 million worth of gold in 19.
And gold is the gold, silver. What's the other one? Platinum are the three precious metals that actually have a value.
But they calculated the value of the loot based on Paris rate, not the US rate.
Yeah. Again, I wanted to finish this. Is the precious metals are the only thing that actually hold actual value. They'll go, well, what about diamonds and precious jewels? And I'm like, no, they don't actually hold any real value. Their value is estimated by De Beers.
Diamonds are a stupid hype anyway.
They are hype. The value is fake. That's why I always find diamond heist movies silly. You always want precious metals. Metal is actually tangibly valuable.
The riddle of
actual
steel?
value.
The Riddle of Steel.
Oh man, I love the rant of the general in this movie.
Oh, every single rant of his is amazing.
I like
because
how
he
he's
thinks
got-
that these guys are fighting a battle. You know,
Yeah.
no idea that it's about a
He's got
heist.
on his pajamas.
He's got stars on his robe.
Oh, the face and the communication. See, so you have all this info and you haven't told nothing to me. And we
level
have
of-
a super chat.
The level of miscommunication is just hilarious.
We just got a compliment and a gnarly insult about Saturday's show. Femsplainer says, "Great show, but for the love of God, please invest in a good audio balancer. My poor ears were bleeding whenever somebody would chime in who hadn't talked in a while." So I said, "Thank you very much for the compliment. You're welcome to invest in that for us."
Right.
Hey, Christian gave us a super chat. What?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still reading what this girl said. Have you ever heard so much enthusiasm? They even have the Gravedigger's Gravedigger was my CB handle. I got when I was engaged to be married. Yeah. Everybody's involved in this.
Let me find something for you. Oh. I will have to use the backdoor reference because I don't have any other video here. So, for you, Chris.
Cowboy, check around and see if there's a back door.
I'm still getting this weird delay whenever we play videos.
Oh, yes. Don't talk to me. Don't tell me about it.
That's
Sometimes
a issue,
I didn't
right?
even see the.
So that's
Yeah.
what Arthur Bunker did during World War II. That's great.
Sometimes they don't show up for me at all. That's StreamYard fucking up, I guess.
Garou.
How would one use an audio balancer in StreamYard? I don't think you can do that.
No.
Well, good for you, Chris. I guess.
Maybe we'll have some more stripper money coming now, so you can see the movie, the clip again. Once you get started.
What is this? No, Austin, no.
What the heck, Austin?
That's actually a great idea, guys. Just go, yeah. Move on.
There you go.
Did you play a video for Christian?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Go team, go.
He's listening to me. Thinks it. This is so fucking funny. Move on.
Like he's watching
A football game, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this is the scene right here where he makes the great backdoor kind of reference
About the equipment being jammed in the rear.
Yeah. I get. And Clint Eastwood absolutely wants to screw him over and leave him behind.
Right.
Because he doesn't want to be splitting the money.
Well, they have too many people now to split it with. So, of course, they try to sneak out.
Get me my uniform.
He probably doesn't even know where it is.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
And this is where they leave him behind, man. This is great. I love this scene. Lady V Elements is here. What's up?
Well, Jeebus is not only that they use, it's the
Don't
gold.
argue. Don't argue. He's just being obtuse
Right,
right
he's
now.
trolling.
He's just in the
He's
chat
actually
to
just
derail.
trolling. Yeah, I love it, but at the same time, I'm not going to respond to it because it's like there's no point in responding to something.
It'll get worse. Man.
Facts don't matter.
Right? Oh man, here he goes.
Maitland, fucking. that dude. And the thing is, he knows what is happening in actuality.
Right.
You know, those are my guys, and they are pushing for a bang.
Why is it called penetration? That is so weird.
I think that answers itself. I
was fixing to say I ain't touching that. The explanation would get too crude. It really would.
That line is just it threw me off.
No, that's the
it's an accurate line.
Term. Yeah.
Yeah, but
correct.
It's confusing.
No, it's
not.
Trust me, baby, it's not.
She's your girlfriend, all right? That's not how about it.
I'm not a
We'll let
fucking
Gerry handle
native
that one.
speaker. Jesus.
We'll let Gerry handle that one at another time.
The gutter mind couple.
I love this village and I love this whole thing. Now, some of these buildings are real and some of these buildings are propped up. And
I think we're coming up to one of my favorite scenes where the outhouse explodes all over them.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
It depends, Christian. I wouldn't use this like a blanket statement. It depends.
I always stick with facts.
Yeah, facts.
Can you see it where?
Once again with the hair, Clint. Come on, put your helmet back on.
Yeah, he's guaranteed so many scenes with his hair. It's just it's in his contract.
This isn't a Dirty Harry flick, bro.
Now you know why they call him Dirty Harry. Because he takes every dirty job down the line. He calls that a Jeep, and that annoys me. Because it's not a Jeep. It's the Kübelwagen. The Volkswagen military vehicle.
That's like calling any soda a Coke.
Which we knew in America as the Thing, if anybody remembers that.
Yep.
The Volkswagen Thing.
You have a weird way of saying Volkswagen.
It's Volkswagen, is the way I was taught to say it.
It's Volkswagen.
Yeah, the people's wagon.
Yeah, but sometimes you pronounce it like it was started with a W.
And if you don't think that Hitler was a socialist, again, the people's car.
The people's
that
car.
was his car company.
Volkswagen.
Yeah. Look at his face right there. Moriarty being all negative again.
They are really like an old couple.
Say something righteous
so much.
And they're fighting couple. He just gets up and walks away.
Yeah, Moriarty is just suffering from chronic PMS. Got his hormones all fucked up. That's why he's so pissy and whiny.
And it's ass. Yeah, I love it when he's explaining this. Yep. Talking about your backdoor references. Oh.
Oh.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
seeing some of these guys, I'm gonna have to rewatch this again, man. Because wow.
Oh yes.
Because this is where he finds out about the Tiger tanks, and he is not happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were feared. I mean, shit.
Sherman tank commanders did not want to fight a Tiger tank because it's.
And at that point, they were just down to one Sherman. They have lost two already.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so Clint comes up with the clever idea: stay out of range, keep moving, play tag.
And he's going to scout the route for the tank. He promised that I'm going to be on foot, guiding your tank.
Yeah, also their strategy is that's a tiny village with narrow roads, so that's their
and the use of the bells.
It's the Achilles heel for the tigers, because the tigers are
bigger. Because the tiger, it's bigger and it doesn't move so fast. So
they were lucky that the tigers made the warming engine routine at that moment.
Yeah, that is a great line right there. There's Otto. This guy's a good actor. I like him. Great line here. To a New Yorker like you, a hero is some weird sandwich, not some nut who wants to take on three tiger tanks.
What's really funny about Otto is his English sounds so much like Arnold.
Really?
And it's so weird because the two main German actors in this film are both from Berlin, and they have distinctly different German accents. They say the words the same way, but you'll notice the guy at the beginning who plays Dunkopf, he's got a gentler.
Hey, Bush!
There you go. Them negative waves, man.
Negative waves, man.
Hi, Bush. Finally.
Oh, he was drunk as shit last night too. Him and Christian both were talking to me last night before they went to bed, and I went to bed, and he was just hammered. Okay. I got to tell you, Bush, you are a shitty typist when you're drunk. I'm just telling you, buddy. Eastwood is an amazing actor, no matter the film. So grizzly, no nonsense attitude, but great.
I want to read that conversation.
Right hair. Never has helmet hair, boys and girls. Never has helmet hair.
Yeah, we all in the military, if our hair came out a little bit, you had helmet head. What I loved in the Army is after you've had that helmet on for a few hours, even with a high and tight, take that thing off, you got strap head.
You got a crease all the way around your head.
Your fucking head and edges here on the side.
Yep.
Your head, and you're so fucking sweaty. Your head stinks.
Yep.
Oh my God. I remember like just running my hand through my head. It was sopping wet, and I looked at it, and the odor of the sweat was like, ew. Oh.
Yeah, that and the canvas and the straps inside the damn thing, because it's got a liner underneath that pot, guys.
Oh, I love the sniper scene. Hold on, this is great. Yep. This is when he starts taking them out.
I'm sorry for the guy up there with the bell, though. That must have hurt.
Yeah, because they're calling for him to answer, and he can't hear them over the bell.
Speaking of Bush and typing, do you remember that time when he was that weird bug? He can only write 10 characters at a time. And he typed like an asthmatic.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was so fucking funny.
Yeah, typing asthmatic.
It's like great. You could only type like a word and then like enter and then have to do a new one. That was a weird punishment by YouTube. I never understood that one.
I've never seen it before or after that. Just with Bush.
Lady V says, by the way, hi, Lady V. Laughing my ass off. Why did I don't wear hats unless I absolutely have to? It's gross. Military, you have to have a cover on.
You do.
At all times outdoors. If you're indoors, don't have it on. But when you're outside, you have to have a cover. Where's your cover?
Where's your cover? That's it.
And in the military, you have a rule. Helmet, garrison, didn't matter what you're wearing. That's how you wore your hat, like this. I got to take my glasses off for it to be accurate. 2 fingers to the bridge of the nose, and that's how low you wore your hat in the military.
Yep.
You get caught doing this shit in the Army, what are you, a good old boy? They'll knock your cover off you and then punish you by making you do push-ups or whatever for not having your hat on correctly. Senior NCOs and officers can be real. See you next Tuesdays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, everything's uniform. You got everybody.
All right, here we go. This is when he ends up taking the first shot, and then they open up on these guys. I'm serious. They did a really good job with those Tiger tanks. Those are T-34s dressed up.
Yeah, they got them from the Soviet Union, and the Yugoslavian military guys did a really good job on them.
The effects guys, they dressed them up to look just like Tiger. The one problem is on the Tiger tank, the tread cover sits up higher in the front than it does in the back. It's not straight across.
Mm-hmm.
And because that allowed the opening I talked about right above the caissons, you could throw sticky bombs in there, or even if you're a good shot, hit it with a bazooka. The side, belly, and back is the weaknesses of the Tiger tank.
Yeah, you're going to see.
So
that was the BAR scene. He opened up on those guys and killed them all with that BAR.
Yeah.
And there was the satchel charge. I love that. And here's where they got to run after the explosion goes. Let's go, and then boom, they
into
get hit.
the latrine.
The latrine
Yeah,
gets blown all over them.
that's the scene. And I was like, oh fuck, death by outhouse.
Well, you thought they were dead, but it's
They're
worse.
dead,
They lived, and they got all that shit all over them.
Storm, yes, a literal.
And it leads to a great joke where Don, the guy goes, "Y'all smell like," and he says, "You're just upset because the way we smell reminds you of home." And then when Don Rickles walks away,
And he kind of does.
Dean,
Harry Dean sentences, "It really does kind of."
Right.
That is a sexy gun right there, the Thompson. But in movies, a lot of the actors hate carrying them because they're so fucking heavy.
Why?
Yeah. They're heavy.
The 45 is a big round, and that's a magazine full of those damn rounds. And the gun itself is a lot of metal parts.
Yeah, well, you have to consider they are doing the scenes multiple times. So they are carrying those guns for
there it is. It kind of makes you homesick. It does kind of. It does, old buddy.
And they're looting the tank.
I was fixing to say they got to be teasing it to move because that
was the whole thing. Yeah, they had to manipulate these tanks to move around in order to basically do what they got to do to get to the thing. But in the process, I love this when he goes over the car. It's just fun.
I love it when he goes through the wall. That's very impressive too.
Oh, this scene.
Yeah, he hits it with a fucking paint round. And he's like, what the hell? And thank God it can't turn the barrel around or back up.
Right.
So it can't turn because of the wall, and it can't turn because of the tree the other way. And so he opens up with the 30, which actually the Sherman tanks had two guns on it. It had the Browning 30 and it had the Maudus on the back. And I can't tell. Is that the 50?
Yeah.
That's a 50.
No. Sure, it looks
because the 30. Yeah, that's the Maudus right there. Yeah. And in order to fire that weapon, you had to be standing on the back of the tank, which is a really dangerous position to be in. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The 30 was right in front of the driver's hatch. Oh, man, I love this scene. God.
Scarf?
That tank just blows. Here it is. That's the wall that ripples when you hit it.
That's the wall that moves.
It was like, oh, well, that's a set.
That's a set piece. Oops.
I mean, look at that.
Really
and it's a tiger.
Awesome.
But then you start noticing minute things about it, like, well, that's wrong and that's wrong. But they did a really terrific job at dressing it up.
It's a little
here it is.
Bit
here
smaller.
It is. Right here. What's happening? The tank's broken and they're trying to fix it. Then why aren't you helping them? And I love this. I ride them. No, it makes them work. I've used that with guys. It's like, why don't you know how to fix your computer? I know how to use them. I'm an artist. I know how to use my computer. I don't know how to fix it.
Right.
It's not my job.
That's above my pay grade. Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I mean, when in France, why not have some wine and cheese?
I said that one time at work, and somebody told me that was offensive. I was like, "What?
Why is that?
Why is that offensive?"
There's nothing
Just
offensive.
look at them. When somebody says something that's stupid to you, just look at them for a second and go, and just walk away.
I give them the Clint Eastwood wince, is what I do. I'm like,
It's like
Your
saying that
stupidity hurts me.
if you're in Philly and you ate a Philly cheesesteak, then you're offensive. Then
I guess just weird, man. Just weird.
Yeah, I've smelled. I've smelled that. There's no comparison to human. Once they reach a certain temperature, a lot of times they'll pop, and that mixed with the burning flesh, it's just the smell you don't want to smell.
Woof.
Look.
There, the guy is finishing the bridge.
Yeah, these guys, don't you screw us! Don't you screw? He yells at him. He screwed him. And here comes the general, thanking him for their job. He's like, I am so screwed. We're never gonna get that gold.
Yeah.
Look at that face he's making. He knows he's screwed. Oh my God.
I want a sandwich. I haven't eaten anything all day. And Jeebus, I know that. You're a professional troll. Son of a bitch.
Sons of bitches. Better get it right.
So this is where they have to improvise. And it leads to one of the greatest suggestions, which is
deal with it.
Make a deal.
And it's Don Rickles. It's Don Rickles that does it. Make a deal with them. It's like, holy shit. Because right now they're thinking, how are we going to do this? How are we going to beat this? And we can't get the tank running.
Oh, the Western scene.
Yeah, this
is the end of
it.
You get the Clint Eastwood Western music by Ennio Morricone style. And of course, the music is by the gentleman that wrote Mission Impossible.
Really?
Yeah. Give me a second. Lalo Schiffer.
Originally, we wanted to watch this
He
movie
tilted-
on Saturday.
He tilted it sideways. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a Luger, by the way. One of the most useless fucking pistols ever made. It's a dress weapon. It's what ended up getting that kid killed in Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
the Luger for his brother, and then he shoots himself. That was a stupid death.
It's a sad, tragic, pointless death. Yeah. I make one sandwich in a 3-foot. There he goes. Otto fucking steps out. It's squinty eyes. And I love it when he says the one thing and his eyes open up. He's squinting the whole
he
time.
sold pretty quickly.
God, Savalas and Eastwood are two cool guys, man. They really are. You've never seen so much fucking cool.
This is the equivalent of having Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger on the screen at the same time.
Yes, it is.
There's a whole lot of testosterone right there.
But I love it when he says what he wants him to do, and his eyes get really big because he sees the bigger picture. I have orders.
Instantly.
It's not going to fall in the hands of the American army. It's going to fall into ours. You, the American army.
No, baby.
No, baby, we ain't.
We ain't.
16 right here is where his eyes get big. There they are. First time in the whole movie you see his fucking eyes. I love that moment, man. It's really.
He even does the math and tells him how much that is in German money.
Yep.
Oh, dude. Donald Sutherland is Shaggy in a U.S.
Absolutely. He really is.
All you have to do is shoot that door.
Oh, man, that's too good.
Yeah, all you have to do is turn and shoot that door, and then immediately the next shot is him shooting the fucking door.
Whoa! There it is. I'm in.
That didn't take a lot of convincing.
When he gets that first box open right here and that gold shines and you see the reflection on all of them, it's just like, look at Margolin. I love Stuart Margolin, man. What a great comedic actor.
What a deal.
Bam!
There, bam. There it is. Boys and girls.
That's impressive stuff.
Look at the gold reflection on his face. I love the light hitting their faces. You can see the slight gold hue to it. And it's just like
how many movies since this one have had that moment in it?
Very few, but they, this is the first one.
Quentin Tarantino.
Die Hard when they finally open
every time they open that suitcase, right?
Yep.
I think there's a moment like that in Raiders of the Lost Ark when
The
they first opened the Ark.
What was that movie called? The Three Kings?
Yeah.
Has a moment like that in it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Die Hard when they finally open the vault.
That's right.
That's true. That's a little bit more dramatic, but yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and again, I want to point out the mesh on the helmets were pretty much lost after the first year in combat.
Lady V.
Golden shower gear, you are romantic.
What the fuck?
This is why Lady V fucking rocks. Oh my god, I love this.
Goldfinger, yeah, Raiders. Another one I was thinking of was Red Skull at the beginning of First Avenger when he opens the thing with the cube in it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not as grandiose.
I do like the fact that there's this tender moment between Rickles and Savalas. And Savalas shits on, he comes over, asks how he's doing, and he shits on him. And then they have that warm moment. I love that moment, by the way. We've already passed it, but I love that moment. I forgot about it.
The fucking tank. I loved it.
Well, he's a Yahtzee. He
Just
may
straight
not
the uniform.
Now, this would get them in trouble if they get caught. They get into a lot of trouble with the Americans wearing German uniforms like that. It's one thing if you put some regalia on you, but you don't put on that uniform.
Uniform from the SS, no less.
Yeah, it's fucking SS.
Right, SS uniform. Good Lord. Oof. That's the worst.
Absolutely, the trunk. That's right, Monkey.
The negative waves, man.
The trunk
waves.
absolutely inspired him with the case, and he's a liar if he says it didn't. Totally going to tag EVS. What?
Because he said that Otto looks like EVS. Oh
my
other way
God!
around.
Now that looks like Malarkey from Band of Brothers.
This guy is a walking calculator, man.
Yeah, he's done
actually,
it twice
guys,
now.
That's a Wehrmacht uniform. DSS uniforms.
Wehrmacht. Yeah.
Well, that's a supply guy,
DSS
man.
was a special troop.
The supply guy doesn't know his numbers. He turns to this guy to do the math for him. Correct. Like he wasn't. He didn't know the answer.
That's 12 ways.
And he answers without.
But he really
thinking.
looks like Malarkey.
Yes,
that actor?
He does.
The actor's name, I always forget his name. He's on Orville. He's a navigator. Scott Grimes.
Grimes.
Yeah.
This is great. He's like, Eisenhower, and he's not reacting. And then he uses the French leader.
Right.
De Gaulle is coming. De Gaulle? He's got to slow the general down. I love this movie, man. This is great. And, again, based on an actual event. It really took place. Gold was really stolen by a ragtag group of army soldiers. It's also referenced in another little film, actually two films. It's one's a remake, is Charade with Cary Grant and Audrey Hepburn.
Okay.
Oh.
The heist that they talk about in that film is this heist.
Okay.
Another one that's on our
That's
list.
so bigoted of you to say.
Now, is Three Kings a remake of this? Or?
Three Kings is actually a remake of another film. Oh shit, I forget which film.
Because I've never seen Three Kings, but when I heard the premise, I thought of this one right away.
Oh man. this movie was a blast.
Dude,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it is. It
until-
was inspired by this. I thought it was a different film.
that's
yeah,
what
it was
I thought.
inspired by this.
When I heard about the premise of Three Kings, which I haven't seen, but
It's okay.
yeah,
I'm never gonna show it on
Three
this.
Kings? I didn't like it.
I'm never gonna use it on here.
isn't that Clooney?
I saw it in the theater back
Yes,
then. And I
that's
didn't like
George
it.
Clooney, Marky Mark.
Marky Mark's in it. Wahlberg. I like Wahlberg, man. I'll watch.
Yeah, they got into a physical altercation with the director.
What?
Yeah.
I love that they
Very
left
bad
that message
feelings.
in the bank.
By the way, go back to that image, dude.
The
real
message on the
quick.
wall.
That
We're
fucking.
gonna lose.
I just fucking love that shot of Kilroy was here.
And here's Maitland because he knew what was happening. He went directly
Hit
to the
pause.
bank.
Pause.
Up yours, baby.
Kilroy was here. Up yours, baby. You didn't pause.
It's forget it, man. This player is
We only
not.
have 2 minutes, Gary.
I know, but I wanted to pause on that image because I love that image. Kilroy was such a big thing in World War II. That's where it got started. Kilroy was here. Written all over the place. And
Have you ever seen, let me ask you
German
something. Have
occupied.
you ever seen a movie where they actually show the actors like this at the beginning of the credits at the end that wasn't good? Have you
No,
ever seen a bad movie with this at the end?
no, never.
I never have either. This is one of the
There's
signatures
Jack
of a
Nicholson's
flick.
cousin. Look at him.
Yeah.
This is one of the
Hey there,
signatures of a
Sparky.
flick that you know the filmmakers loved making and they enjoyed the hell out of making and knew they had something good.
I love that. Colonel Doomkoff.
Mm. Are we going
For
to?
those of you who don't get the
It's so
joke, it
funny.
means dumbhead.
Are we going to
German.
do the Great Escape someday?
Yeah.
Not really.
It's on the list.
That would be Dummkopf, Gary. That's not the same word.
Ah.
It sounds similar, but it's not the same word.
That's why he's called that. Jesus Christ. That's why he was given that name.
Stop being a grammar
Because
Nazi,
it sounded-
Anima.
Seriously.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
That
Defending
is
my
the
language,
joke.
excuse me.
That is the joke
Fuck you
within the
guys.
movie of his name.
That's the whole reason why.
we have a super
It's
chat
the
before we
correct
go.
word. What the fuck?
We have this super chat.
By the way, Christian Delorme, $5, throwing stripper money, sober sex.
That's a solution to that, Christian.
Half blue ribbon.
Sober. Get unsober.
PBR, as he calls it.
Indeed. And for you, we have this one from the Wild Geese.
Car just pulled up to the back door.
Yes.
Marvelous.
So, just to let you know, historically, the very first grammar Nazi was Emil Maurice, who edited the book Mein Kampf.
I knew it.
You went a long way for that joke.
I knew
No,
it.
I didn't. That is historically the first grammar Yahtzee.
Yahtzee. Yes.
Oh, man. Thank you, Christian, for that. Let's see. Throw him another video, man. Throw him a bone.
Stop with the negative ways, Anima.
He deserves
No
it.
negative waves here.
Got another one, Martin?
Another what?
Video. I said throw another video at him.
Okay, let me see.
Quickly, we gotta go.
On me. Kyle, pick up the rear. Roger.
There you go. But yeah, we are nearing the end of the show. I want to make sure I thank everybody for being here today. I want to thank our audience at KGRA for listening in today. I hope you guys had fun. Even though you can't see the film if you're listening through the audio app, I hope you enjoyed the comments on the show because they were nutty.
We sure had fun.
But those of you who've obviously watching by video, you got to watch the slideshow with us. And this is a classic film. If you've never seen the movie, take time, watch this movie. I want to thank D. Bud Martin, Joseph Dredd, Christian Delorme, Jim Watari, Andy Morrow, Dragon Ruse, Kingsport Cal, Thunder Duck, Penny, Cam's Crash Courses, Glenn Fleming, Zacharot 315, Monka Jubas, thank you, come again, Alex Moore, FKHC 2005, deleted scenes, Boosh McFadden, and John Ostains. Thanks, guys, for being here. Great chat today. Very, very entertaining chat. And I want to thank Joe for being here. I want to thank Martin for being the right side of my brain. I want to thank Das Wolfen for being here. And, of course, the love of my life, Anima Confusa. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, baby.
It's fun to do this.
Those sons of bitches.
Ma, I'm doing a show.
Thank you, Bill. You are awesome.